So what was the first struck you when you moved to LA?
I always tell this story because it was a very defining moment for me. My first week when I got there, I showed up to a party, like someone had invited me that I met through something. I don't remember how I met this person, but they invited me to this party.
Yeah.
And I told this girl that I'd met and I was meeting an agent and it was like his open house for his new office. And she was like, "Oh, you're new to LA. That's so cute." She's like, "This city's gonna eat you alive, sweetheart." I was like, "Okay." Like,
What? Are you serious? That's so
yes.
rude.
I know. I
But
was
in a
like,
way, that's a nice thing to say. I don't know,
"Is
but
it?"
well, I don't know. I mean, you'll be like, okay.
I was like, "Ah, ha, ha, thanks."
Well,
Like
I mean, I know actresses who have gone to LA and it's gone very, very poorly for them. I'm not
totally.
kidding.
No, I
Like really poorly.
that's what I just said though. Like a lot of people have that experience where
Yeah.
like you get this is what I'm why I'm so passionate about mindset work is that you get to decide your experience. You get to decide your beliefs about the experience you're going to have. And like I decided when I got there, like, no, I'm not gonna have that experience. Like other people are telling me how LA is gonna be. Other people tell you this starving artist mindset and like you have to hustle and grind your way to the top and it has to be so hard and you have to be struggling to pay your rent. And I was like, no, like I don't want that. I reject that notion. That's not my reality.
Mhm.
And as a result, I created a completely different reality for myself. And I'm so passionate about the power of your mind, the power of your beliefs, and to create what you want. And so, yeah, I'm like, that might have been her experience. That might have been her reality,
Yeah.
but she was projecting it onto me. And that's like, not really fair, right? And it's whatever. Like I take that as a laugh now. I like it makes me laugh when I think about it.
Yeah.
And I take it as like a thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to like prove you wrong,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's funny. That was one of the first things that struck me is there's a lot of negativity in the city. There's a lot of like people that have been kind of like burned out. Yeah, they're burned out. They're jaded. There's a lot of
No, it's
jaded
true. There's a lot of
people.
yeah. No, and that's true in general. And I do think
Yeah.
there's this great scene in Cinderella, and this is true of anybody who's worked in the arts. I mean, not anybody, but you will see this if you're in the arts, and as you get older in the arts, you will see this tendency in others, and you do not want to develop it in yourself. There's this great scene in the Kenneth Branagh Cinderella that's like the live action one, and Cinderella after she's leaving to go with the prince, and she confronts her stepmother, is like, "Geez, why were you so mean to me? Like I never did anything to you." And the stepmother explains, "Honestly, I resent how young you are, how great you are, and how much
Mhm.
opportunity you have, and I just wanted to put that down." I mean, they say it much better and more articulate,
Right.
but it's you will see that like, oh well, I mean, and I've experienced other ways, and of course, even here in Utah, just kind of like, oh well, you're not. If I couldn't make it, you couldn't make it, and that is just
Exactly.
not true.
Nope.
Like they don't know your skill set, they don't know what you're doing. Like for me, like on the photography end of things, like I know it's hard to get a job as a photographer, but it was never hard for me.
Right.
Like, I can't think of a single time I ever applied for a photo job where I didn't have at least 5
It's
offers,
amazing.
and I know that's like a unique experience, but I did work really hard and, even like the first time I walked in to the Deseret News with a sheet of slides saying, "Hey, can I," at the age of 18, and the bureau chief, who just happened to be there, I had no idea what a bureau chief was just like, no, no, there's no way, we're not hiring anybody." And they looked at the slides like, "Well, maybe, actually,
Ooh.
we'll pass this on." And so, like, if it will, yeah. But, a lot of people, you get one life and people are confronting things that went wrong with their lives as they get older and stuff. And just so if you're a young person starting in the field, don't let that get you down. You
100%.
don't be like, "Oh, well, then I guess I shouldn't try." Like, no,
Mm-mm.
try.
Mm.
But that's just what it is.
Yeah, and be willing to be told no. Like, I mean, I don't think anybody likes to be rejected, but I've been doing this since I was 5. Like, rejection is so common for me that I'm like, I'm not afraid of being told no now. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I'll pitch myself, I'll throw myself in rooms that I'm not ready to be in. I'll put myself in opportunities that I'm like not quite prepared for because number 1, I'm not afraid of being told no, and number 2, I know that I'll rise to it and I'll step into whatever I need to do. You know what I mean? Like, I can become whatever I need to be, do that, and being told no is just a part of the job. And like if you got told no, like I saw this video on Instagram the other day that this guy was saying, "I'll change how you view no in 2 seconds." Like if I told you that having $1 billion company was 40 no's away, how quickly would you be out to go get those 40 no's?
Exactly. It's like,
Right?
well, more than that, you only need one yes,
Right. That's the thing.
And then the other side is I do think, especially, I don't know, some. people may have been raised. I do think this is a mistake people make sometimes with kids, like some parents, like they don't want their kid to go through a hard thing. And so when they hit their first no, it's just devastating. And they
Right.
may not hit that first no until they're like 25 or something.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, it's just part of, like, especially with acting. But like, quickly, I had a friend who went to LA, so on. And I said, oh, great. So what auditions did you go on? Like, what was it like? And she was like, I went on one. There were like 10,000 people there, and I turned around, and that was it. I mean, like, that was like her whole experience going to
Yeah.
LA. And, of course, it's like, I mean, yeah, it's like the 100 audition thing or whatever. Like, yeah, just go on a lot of auditions and make auditions fun, I
Yeah.
feel. I mean, think about it. Like, you're getting a part.
Yeah.
You have a part if you have an audition.
Mm.
Like, they've given you a script, and you have a part, and you have an audience. And that audience, again, sitting on that side of the table, they want nothing more than the next freaking Brad Pitt or
Right.
Nicole Kidman or, you know, Kate Blanchett to walk through that door. That
Yeah.
is their dream. That's why they're sitting at that desk, and they want you to be that person,
They do.
and they're not paying you money. They don't have any expectations. They haven't bought a ticket, They just want you to be successful. You'll
Right.
never have a more pleasant audience. So perform, and then you're there because you like performing, right? So take your part seriously, really think about it, and perform.
Yeah.
And there you go.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that's a mindset shift, right?
That is a
What you
mindset
just
shift.
described
Yeah.
is a really powerful mindset shift because a lot of actors will go into an audition with this, like, and I've done this in the past too, so I understand, but it's like this, like, oh, please, 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 please choose me, please pick me, please, please, please. I'm like, please
Yeah.
like me, please tell me I'm good enough. And
Yeah.
we approach our auditions with that energy. It's like, girl, no wonder you don't book when you're walking into a room like begging everyone to just approve of your presence. It's like you got to be so bought in on yourself, in your magnetism, who you are, and what you bring to the table, that when you show up in that room, you're detached from the results. Whether you book it or not is irrelevant. Because, like you said, you love art. You just got a role to perform. You're here to
Mhm.
perform. You have a captive audience that wants you to do well. They're not like, is she gonna mess up? You know what I mean? They want
No,
you to
that's
do
not
well.
happening at all. Yeah.
Right. And if you,
Like
if,
your high school drama class was the most critical audience you'll ever have.
right, 100%.
Because there
Yeah.
are other actors and they don't want you to succeed.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's really
But
that
people casting.
energy
Yeah.
of detaching. It's detaching from the results, detaching from their perspectives of you, and entering with like the wholeness that you have, that this result means nothing about you. And if this role is not for you, there's going to be another one that is.
Yeah. Well, and
Um,
also, again, another thing is to be on the other side when you're sitting with a bunch of headshots, you're looking at tapes. It's like it's not necessarily like the quality of the performance. It's just whether do they fit.
yeah,
That is
100%.
that eliminates 99% of the qualified people.
Yep.
And also, when you're doing audition, it depends what level and how close the audition is and stuff. But certainly in any open audition call,
Oh, yeah.
like 90% of the people will probably not be even remotely competent.
Yeah.
And like 10%, so you're in that 10%, you're you got a chance. But even then, you can be good enough. 10% of the people could probably work, but it's whether they fit.
Right.
And it takes a lot to fit.
Yeah, because you're trying to fit the idea
Yeah.
that the director has in their head about who this character is, right? Or the writer
Yeah.
or the producer, or whoever's, in the room. But it's like they have an idea about what they want, and they've also communicated that to the casting director. So then the casting director, they're all just trying to, like you said, make sure you fit. You could be so freaking talented, but if you have blonde hair and the other lead has blonde hair, like, ooh, we're not looking for that. Or like they
Yeah.
just want a
It won't fit
different vibe.
together.
It
Yeah.
won't. And it's like, yeah, it's so much about like detaching your value from the results and not taking it personally, and just knowing like, oh, that wasn't mine, but the next one's going to be, or another one's going to be,
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Well, and also even then, like, I mean, here's just a random thing. Like, George Lucas, one of the main reasons why Carrie Fisher got the role is because she kind of looked like George Lucas's sister. That's it.
That's so
It is funny, yeah.
funny.
He, in, American Graffiti, which predated Star Wars, the lead female role in that also kinda looked like his sister, and he just liked to cast people who kinda look like his sister. So when
Aw.
he was casting the Princess Leia part, he's like, "I want a younger version." This is cruel to the girl actress who's in American Graffiti. "I want a younger version of this actress who was in American Graffiti." And
Whoa.
she heard that, and she's like, "Darn it." So she could have, like, been, like, a mega star, but she was
Yeah.
just, like, she just aged 5 years in between the 2 of them or something, and so
Right.
she couldn't play the role anymore.
Wow. That's
So,
crazy. That's an
isn't
interesting
that crazy?
story.
So, yeah, it's a lot of luck, a lot of, randomness, and things are going to decision, like how people's sisters look. So you just have no idea. So
That's
just
crazy.
don't leave like, "Oh, if I just said that line differently, or if I just done this differently." It's like, "Nah, just keep putting yourself out there and, you know, and have fun with it because if you're an actor, you're gonna do a lot of it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
You'll probably audition more than you work,
Right.
at
I
least
mean,
certainly when you're starting
100%.
out.
Yeah, but like it's just a part of the job, you know. But yeah, it's easier said than done, but it's definitely an important practice to maintain over the years if you want to continue being an actor, you know, because the mindset stuff will really get you down if you get like you know, burdened by the rejections all the time. Hard to keep showing up. So,
Yeah.